You met Prince, the late Prince. Pretty fair country guitar picker himself. Tell me what that was like, meeting Prince, and when you talked guitar, what did you talk about?
I had become a fan of Prince, and by and large, I admired his showmanship. I considered him a world-class entertainer, and it was only until he appeared with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame closing jam session when he picked up a guitar and tore it up, lit the stage on fire with his technical dexterity. Didn't really know Prince to be that accomplished as a guitarist.
You thought of him as a great performer, but not necessarily a great guitarist until that moment.
By and large, a great dancer, a great singer, a great composer. The most I had seen him previously, I knew he held a guitar, but I didn't really see him play it much.
Right.
And that one appearance at the close of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction awards really, it caught me off guard, and I started listening intently. And then one evening, not long after that, I was in Manhattan, and we had made an appearance, and it was late at night, and I was looking for a place to go find something to eat. And I had a favorite little all-night spot down in the meat market. And on arrival, the go-to 24-hour place had briefly closed for renovation. I was kind of standing around, and I looked across the street, and there was another place that had recently opened. I had never seen it before, but there was great fanfare going on. I saw Brazilian-looking dancers up on top of the bar. The music was so loud, I said, well, I got to go. And no sooner had I crossed the threshold, I walked in, and a large guy came up and tapped me on the shoulder. He said, somebody wants to speak to you. And I said, okay. And he pointed, and sitting in this little horseshoe banquette all alone, there sat Prince.
With the Brazilian dancers on the tables?
Across the room.
What a scene.
But I took a seat, and he said, yeah, sit down. He said, I just would like to talk guitar. And I said, well, you've come to the right place. And I said, now knowing you as a guitarist, which I had not known before, let's peel the onion. And we sat for a good 2 hours talking about how to do this and how to do that. We closed the conversation. This was now going on 4:35 in the morning. And I said, by the way, can you teach me how to play that guitar figure that opens up your great song, When Doves Cry? And he said, well, I fell into it by accident. He said, I haven't been able to play it like that ever since. He said, let's go learn it. But yeah, Prince was a prince.
Well, Jimi Hendrix, obviously a major influence on you. As a young man, what, 18 years old, was it, when you started with Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah.
Called you the world's greatest guitarist. Pretty heady stuff for a young man.
I would say so. We made a bonded friendship right off the bat. How we were selected to join the Jimi Hendrix Experience Tour was just that. It was a great mystery, but we jumped in with both feet. That was the Moving Sidewalks. And we had only recently discovered Jimi Hendrix through a record. Didn't know much about it. We quickly came to learn that here was a guy that was doing things with the Fender Stratocaster guitar that was turning it inside out in ways the inventors never even imagined. He was that inventive. And he was a bit shy off stage, but when the lights went on, he came aglow, and man, he would set about doing things with that guitar that were just otherworldly.
You know, one thing I didn't ask you, I probably should have asked you right off the bat. ZZ Top. Now, I've heard all kinds of stories of how the name ZZ Top came to be. Everything from its derivative of B.B. King to it's roughly the sound of a hot rod vehicle. So let's get the record straight here. Where did the ZZ Top come from?
Well, the standing joke is we've told so many stories we forgot which one to use when the question is posed. However, when we started, we had a one-room apartment, and we were all, we had covered the walls with announcement posters. Back in the day, you couldn't pass a telephone pole without seeing a rainbow-colored poster announcing the next act coming through town. And it was basically rhythm and blues artists, soul singers, right. And those were our heroes. B.B. King, D.C. Bender, Z.Z. Hill. We noticed how many of these heroes, these musical heroes of ours, had initials before their name. And we took ZZ from this end of the alphabet. We loved B.B. King from the beginning of the alphabet. We thought ZZ King. I said, no, there's going to be confusion. But I like the onomatopoeia of ZZ. The buzz will cut through. But King is at the top. So we became ZZ Top.
Well, now we have the story straight.
Well, that's the story you'll get today. But as we walk down the street, the letter Z will cut through the ZZ Top. There they go.
How would you like to be remembered? Few, if anyone, ever really gets to choose how he or she is remembered. But if you got to choose, how would you like to be remembered?
Gee whiz, I guess I could get clever in these closing moments. Here lies a guy that's cold, but while he was at it, he made it hot.
Not a bad epitaph.
Good.
Thank you. Good to see you always, my friend.
Good to see you again, as always. Thanks for your time.
Well, listen, thanks for yours. If you need bail money, call me. It's New York City, you know.